Cool, you ready?
Hell yeah. Yep.
So we're here, my good friend Don Darko here, for our Unnamed podcast, episode 4, I think, at this point. None of them have come out yet. We have no name.
Hell yeah.
But how you feeling today?
So I'm feeling fucking amazing. I woke up alive, so that's all I could really ask for. Shit.
There you go. That's a blessing right there.
Hell yeah.
And looking fresh with the new hairstyle
Hell
from the barber today.
Hell yeah.
Looking good.
Lady fucked my lineup, but shit, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll give her the benefit of doubt, so it was the barber.
Took it out of the tip, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's just dive in with how did you come up with the name? I guess I was kind of curious. Don Darko.
Hell yeah, fucking it's actually wild because I got Don Darko from the movie. There's a movie from back in the late '90s called Donnie Darko.
Okay.
And it was about I depicted it as what I got out of it was about energy and soul ties and manifestations and altering the the Matrix. And so I like that a lot. So I used to watch that movie 10 times over.
Yeah. And
I always thought that was cool. So I used to be the kid, so I transferred over from being the kid to being Don Darko, and then instead of using Donnie, I just used Don because it's means boss in Spanish. So
yeah.
I like that a lot.
Okay. So is that Donnie Darko is with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
The bunny guy?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a dope movie.
I got a mask somewhere around here.
For real?
The actual fucking, I forget the name of the bunny, but I got the...
Yeah, I forget the name of the bunny. I saw it one time, now you're inspiring me, maybe I'll watch it again.
Hell yeah.
So you were the kid before?
Yeah, I used to go by the kid. I was used to go by True, Snoopy, a whole bunch of different names.
Okay.
Crazy shit.
What was what inspired the first name or first couple names, and then what was the evolution to?
So when I was about 7 or 8, I used to go by Snoopy.
Okay.
Because I just liked Snoopy, the character Snoopy.
Yeah, little dog.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then fucking growing up, I would always eventually, by the time I got older, around age of 15, transferred over to the kid because I'd always be hanging out with older kids. So everybody else I hung out with was always 3-4 years older than me. So
yeah.
I always felt like the kid. So I just went by the kid. And then also Prince in the movie Purple Rain. Everybody called him the kid, and I looked up to him all the time growing up.
Yeah.
So I like that too.
Okay.
There's a lot of movies and shit with the names that I went by involved in it.
I like that. So I guess at some point you were fuck, I'm not the kid anymore. I'm Don Darko?
Literally.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Was it I guess, metamorphosis in that you as an artist or a person kind of change, evolved from the kid to the man, if you will?
Hell yeah. It was like an evolution, kind of.
Okay.
Me moving up to a different level, I feel and doing different things, changing my style of music, changing my whole, just who I was as a person, growing and adapting. So I figured I needed to change the name and to the new adaptations that I had came to become.
Yeah. So it's funny that you said the kid because I feel like I had you on Snapchat years ago, and I was the kid, and then I was Don. But then it was it's all coming together in my mind now. I was probably should update your name in Snapchat at this point, so I know who you are at this point. But how did the sound change? Or did you have a sound as Snoopy and the Kid, or
I used to be on I used to do boom bap rap, no auto-tune or nothing like that, just real authentic rap for real. And then because as a kid I started out writing poems and doing all that, and then as I got older, from the age of 12, 13, 14, started actually rapping, and then turned 16, started adding auto-tune to it for that new wave, and I kind of
But that you were still the kid at 16?
Yeah,
okay.
Yep. And then I didn't become officially Don Darko until I was 18, and then that's whenever my style changed completely over to that newer wave type shit. Started incorporating the auto-tune, started getting better with working with it, because I feel auto-tune is it's an instrument for your voice. It's all about how you decide to use it,
Right.
A lot of people look down on it, but I feel if you use it as an instrument, it'll be an instrument. Yeah,
and I know you can have some artists have it, some songs where they have it, and some where they don't, and it makes it more of an instrument versus some people maybe only use it or.
Hell yeah.
So that's dope. So I guess the kind of begs the question of how did it all get started? How did you start making music? How did you start hanging out with people 3-4 years older than you?
So way back in the day, ever since I can remember growing up, I used to watch The Temptations,
Nice.
And I looked up to him. I always wanted to be I used to want to be a singer for real, but I could never sing for shit. Like, and fucking, I used to look up to him. I wanted to be like Otis and David Ruffin and all them. And I just wanted to be up on stage performing. So then that eventually, same thing with the movie Purple Rain. I wanted to be like Prince and shit like that, you know. He was always cool as fuck. And then that just growing up, that evolved into eventually me realizing, okay, I'm not a singer, but I can write these poems and I can turn these poems into songs.
Yeah.
Which in turn I can make the songs into raps and stuff. So then I started rapping, and that's whenever I found my flow and started, you know, officially rapping.
So officially rapping, being more Don Darko was officially rapping, or like, okay.
Yeah. Because as the kid, I had recorded stuff. I had like stuff that I had recorded, but I was never confident enough to release it or put it out because it wasn't the best material. Like, I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I loved it and I appreciated it because looking back on it, I came so far, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I was self-conscious about releasing it because I knew it wasn't, I loved it, but I knew other people wasn't obviously going to appreciate it because they didn't make it, you know. So
yeah.
And then, when I became Don Darko, I started finding my new sound, and that's whenever I officially was like, okay, I feel comfortable dropping some music that I feel like people could push and get down to, you know.
Yeah. So did you have, I guess, growing up, like, parents or family that was influencing you as far as, like, making stuff? Or, like, how did you get turned on to the Temptations? And,
yeah, my parents, they were always deeply into the music culture. And I grew up around everything. My grandparents, they got me hip to Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen. My mom, she got me hip to Guns N' Roses.
Nice.
Nirvana, stuff like that. Red Hot Chili Peppers. My dad, he had me listening to everything from Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. 50 Cent was like my childhood hero.
Yeah.
Just like him. He just had me listen to I grew up on everything, so I always appreciated music for what it was, for real. And, hell yeah.
That's good. Just a wide appreciation for music and in general.
Hell yeah.
Kind of there. So who would, I guess you say, are kind of like your influences, whether the kid or some early stuff to now?
I would definitely say Prince. I'd say Prince, 50 Cent, because I like how 50 Cent, his whole marketing technique that he used, in my eyes, he was a genius with that, because he came out and completely revolutionized the way to market yourself as an artist. And Prince was just that nigga. Like,
yeah.
Prince was like, you walk in a room and it's Prince, so everybody know, oh shit. Like, he was just mysterious all the time.
Yeah.
Never really kind of talked too much, and when he did talk, people paid attention because it was like, oh shit, what's he got to say?
Yeah, because he's kind of quiet.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so like you would say like the Don Darko sound heavily influenced 50 Cent and Prince, like sonically, or is there anybody else, like, or you don't have to say that anybody, you know, it could just be.
Hell yeah. I'd say, let me think. Shit, this is a hard one. This is tough one. Chance the Rapper, I'm not gonna lie. Chance the Rapper is how I found my flow though as a rapper.
Okay.
My sound necessarily, I can't really say who influenced my sound, but I do gotta give some credit to Chance the Rapper because I looked up to him in high school whenever I officially started like rapping and putting my raps together.
Yeah.
I used to use his exact rap flow, like his rhyme scheme and everything.
Yeah.
It was wild.
That's a tough one to even, like, use.
Hell yeah.
So do you still, like, write, I guess, poems or songs before you record, or do you more just kind of punch in? Or?
Oh, yeah, I write all the time. Hell
okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go in there, I have something written down, it won't be working, or sometimes it will work.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it doesn't work, so I'm like, fuck it, and I'll just do it off the top, or I'll go in there and fucking, it'll work, and it'll sound perfect how I want it to sound, and I'll just roll up the punches on it.
Yeah. So do you do any, I guess, writing that doesn't turn into song, that it's meant to just be writing, or kind of it's all in one artistic, like?
Hell yeah. Normally, like, sometimes I'll sit down and write some shit, and then I'll have an idea on it, like, oh, I want to go in the booth and do this, that, and the third, and then I'll get in the booth and I'll be in a different vibe, so I'll be like, you know what, maybe not, and I'll switch it over, take parts out of that and put it into different parts to make something up with it.
Okay. Nice. So I guess, and then recording studios, do you have like any that you work with exclusively, or do you like to kind of, you know, record everything everywhere? I
like to go around a little bit. Like the main person I've been recording with since I was like 16 is Eli Nash out at Next Up Studios. Man, I look up to him a lot he's showed me a lot in the music industry so far. But I don't really I don't really judge. I go around everywhere, test out different studios, make connections, network, meet different people, get different ideas, different inspirations and shit.
Yeah. What, I guess, do you enjoy, respect, appreciate about Eli versus maybe some of the other ones? Like, why is he your favorite?
He's always kept it real with me. He's never tried to get over. He's never done no weird shit. He's never told me something that wasn't true. Like, if I was making a song and he felt a certain way on it, he'd give me his honest opinion, like, yo, I think you need to go in and do this, or hey,
that sucks.
like constructive criticism, and
right.
So that always taught me, okay, like, he's just the level of realness he always kept. I always appreciated it, because I done met a lot of people in this industry. I'm not gonna say any names, but I done met a lot of people in this fucking industry who don't keep it real, or they get over, or they want to fucking take the shortcut, or they want to fucking, I don't even know, they want to sell you something that's not even what it is. And it's wild. Yeah, and it's I've been doing videos maybe like 5 years or something, and it's funny when I listen to like songs prior to doing that, and they're like, oh, if you're not talking about money, like get away from me, or like everybody's snakes or whatever. I'm like, yeah, lyrics, and then now I'm like, oh, it's real. Like, that's actually really how it is. It's crazy. Like, I never really thought that, kind of just assume people are good people, but they're not always good people. So, yeah, it sucks that you also learned that, and that it's real, but, makes sense. That's a valuable thing. Hell yeah.
And then I guess video-wise, I knew you had something with Hogue. I was curious how, like, that all came together. It was like working with a legend.
It was amazing. It was my first music video shoot, actually, that I ever did.
Yeah.
And I was excited for it, but how that got started, the song was 88 Maverick, and it was my track featuring Eli Nash, and that's when I first started recording.
Oh, that's the same guy?
Hell yeah,
that's sweet. Okay, he does it all.
Yup, hell yeah. And fucking, I was recording in his basement. He's living over in the Rosemary at the time. This is way back. This is about 5-6 years ago, and probably about 4 years ago. And he's living over at the Rosemary, and I'd go over there, record in his basement, just be in there for 7-8 hours every day type shit. And we made this one song one day. It's called 88 Maverick. First I didn't really care for it too much, but then it grew on me. And then Eli came to me one day. He's like, "Yo, like, we should do something with this," because he ended up hopping on it and did his thing, and it was like his part was fucking amazing on it. And I'm like, bro. And then he sat me down and he's like, "Yo, I got this entire little plan to drop this song. We're gonna hit up this guy. We're gonna do this, that, and the third." And I'm young, and he has the older wisdom, so he's able to sit there and tell me and show me. So I was like, "Hey, shit, let me know, and fucking, I'll run with it. I'll follow your lead." And that's what happened. He got a hold of Hogue Cinematics. Yeah, fucking great person, fucking amazing. Ended up getting the video set up and everything. About a month later, ended up filming it. We filmed it out at Rolling Acres. Okay. They tore it down. I think they made it like an Amazon facility or some shit now. But it Amazon. Yeah. But
that's cool that you have something that like doesn't exist anymore. Like, you shot it in that area that doesn't exist.
Like, I always thought that was interesting, because it's like a piece of the Matrix that I have right there. But it's like somebody else goes to it. It's not there no more. It's like it never existed type shit.
Yeah, I shot kind of like what we did with our video in the like house that's being built, and I did it by my dad's neighbor, and we did it in their house, and people live there now. And I'm looking at them like, I remember that we were in your house, we flicked your shot. Like, it was cool. So I guess so he linked up, like, he knew Hogue. It wasn't like, or he kind of
we had both just from being around in the scene. I'd actually got hip to Hogue through a rapper named Shadow. Shadow.
Oh, 6. Shadow 6. Yeah.
And he had dropped a video with him, and I remember seeing it. I'm like, holy shit, that shit is hard as fuck. Yeah. And then I was like, and then Eli was hip to that too, and I think he already knew him through some other business and stuff like that. So immediately when he said his name, I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, like, let's do it. Like, he seems like amazing, like, and he definitely delivered on it. Like, it was wild.
Yeah. Awesome. And that's the only other video you have?
I have that one. I have a video called Knife. And I have a video called Darko World. I think I got 3 of them out right now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So who did the same person do the other 2, or who did the other ones?
This guy named Isocellus did the one for Knife, and then my buddy from Canton, his name's Bryce Laskins. Okay. I don't know if he films anymore or not. I think he's in college or something. He's doing his, he's not going down his own journey, but he filmed the Darko World one. Okay. That was my most recent one that I released.
Okay. I'll check those out. I didn't even know those existed. I thought it was just the Hook one.
Hell yeah. Knife is definitely one of my favorite ones, other than the '88 Maverick so far.
Yeah.
And then a lot on mine is I already know that shit's about to be fucking amazing. Like,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Like, all the videos fucking I've seen you did was fucking crazy good, like amazing. Like, just from the fucking creative, the different, like the effects to the different vibe. Like I remember back in the day I seen what was it? I think you filmed for it was Shadow again. You filmed one for Shadow. I think it was called Cherry Springs or something like that, or
did something with that. I did like a one take for that or something like that.
Yeah, that shit was hard. Like the colors and effects and everything. Yeah. It was just different. It was wild as hell. And that's why it was just wild.
Thank you, man. Hell yeah. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, man, what was my next question going to be? It was something along those same lines. Oh, how, I guess, working with those other videographers, how is it different, and, like, why is Knife your favorite, or it just happened to be your favorite song, you like the video?
Yeah, the song, I like the song a lot. I feel like I definitely executed on the vocals. At the time, I was going through a really rough time period. My spirituality wasn't too strong. I was just going through it, so, you know. But then whenever I made that video, things started to change and things started to happen, and it just always made me remember like don't ever quit, don't ever stop, because I felt like before I made that music video, I felt like I was just fucking done. Like I'm done rapping, I'm done doing this. But then I was like, you know what, nah, just keep going. Like you've been doing this for so long for a reason. Like, God has a plan behind everything.
Yeah.
There's always a plan.
Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think how to like formulate it into a question, but I from listening to your music and from what you just said, it sounds like you put a lot of life and like your soul into everything that you do.
Oh yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to make it a question, but like what would you agree, or like tell me about like how the process goes of, you know, making a song versus the video, and like how does that all how you keep your soul?
Normally, like when I'm writing a song, I try to, if I'm feeling a certain way about something, let's say if I'm feeling like maybe not sadness, or if I'm feeling happy, or if it just I'm getting strong feelings about something, I try to put that into words and put it in the ways other people are able to feel and understand it. So then and then I take that and then I try to put it behind like a beat that maybe like a club beat or something that like like that a lot of people will fuck with, you know.
Yeah.
And then I just try to fucking fuck. I just had a brain fart.
No, you're good. So do you have certain like producers that you like to work with? You kind of just shop around for beats, or like how do you find the perfect beats to take your, you know, soul and put it on there?
Right now I'm actually working with a producer named Michael Hanna. He's amazing. Like, he's dedicated as fuck with his work. He goes hard as hell. Like, he grinds. Like, he's definitely on his way to the top. Like, he reminds me of, like, Metro Boomin or
nice.
Someone like that. Like Pierre Bourne. Like, he's fucking crazy. And I just met him like not even 3 weeks ago. Like,
oh shit, this is new. Okay.
Oh yeah. We got a whole fucking, like, it's the music I have getting ready to drop is a whole new wave of shit. Before that though, I was just getting shit off of YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just going on YouTube, seeing some shit, rapping to it. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna buy that. Or sometimes just saying fuck it and just doing it. Like,
yeah.
Fucking.
Nice. So did you, because congrats on getting signed, by the way. So did you...
Oh yeah.
You now, after getting signed, are working with like a new guy? Like, you got new music? Or like, how does that all work?
So, the label that I'm with, I actually got signed like about 2 months ago with them. It's Guest Music Global.
Okay.
And right now we're kind of in like a transitional period of trying to get everything, you know, built up as far as artists and producers and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm there for the whole process. You know, I'm there for the ups and downs. You know what I mean? There's always a little bit of ups and downs in the music industry, so I'm there for it. But you never know what could happen, though. You know what I mean? You never know. Different labels there's always other labels. There's always other opportunities.
Yeah,
so you never know, you know.
Yeah, so they're like, cool, work with, you know, just make the music that you want to make.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So let's just shift gears a little bit. In trying to do a little research to learn about you and everything, I was kind of shopping through the Instagram there, and I travel a lot, man.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite place to go? Like, what's your travel experiences like?
Fucking, I love Miami a lot, but I also love Chicago. I've been to Chicago a few times. And Chicago is definitely one of my favorite spots. Because, one, all the people... And people talk about Chicago, like, because, you know, Chicago's known for, like, Chirac. Oh, you're going to go to Chicago. Yeah. And it's just all about how you move. Like, you go down there, obviously, if you're traveling, you know, you're not going to go to Chicago and try to go to the fucked up-ass parts.
Right.
You go to the city, and it's beautiful. It's nice. It's amazing, for real. People down there are great, you know. I never had a problem going to Chicago.
Yeah. I went there once when I was, like, a little kid. My parents wanted me to do this, like... what's your career path, like, test. Hell yeah. So I had to go do, it was like 3 days of testing or whatever, but we had never, I think I was probably like 12 or something, we'd never done the, like, revolving doors. Oh, and so, like, we used to go in with, like, other people and, like, cram into the doors, and strangers like, get these kids out, like, try to cram into these doors. My parents were, like, so mad or whatever, but I was like, people were saying, like, Chicago dangerous, whatever. I was like, oh, man, like, my family was there, we were fine. So, like, I guess similar, you know? It's not as bad as people say.
No, for real. It's definitely a vibe, for real.
So it sounds like Chicago and Miami, two very different, like, areas. Like, what, those being your two favorites, like, what do you like about, you know, Miami, or what makes those your favorite?
Miami, anybody who's ever been to Miami will tell you Miami has some of the greatest looking women in the world. I'm not even gonna
cover your ears.
I'm sorry about that, but it's a fact. Like, my dad, every time he goes in, he calls them entrapment officers. Because he'll be walking down the street, and there'll be these, like, supermodel women trying to sell you cigars and shit. Yeah. Trying to get you to come in the club and spend money and shit. So he calls them entrapment officers. They got hella entrapment officers down there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, but other than that, I like the food. I like the culture. There's a really huge Cuban culture down there, and just Haitian culture. It's just wild. It's like a melting pot. There's a whole bunch of different styles and different opportunities for creativity and to try to create a new sound, create a new art, anything you really want to do, for real. Yeah,
makes sense. Are you like, I can't stand hot weather. My parents used to take us down to Florida all the time. Are you, just doesn't bother you, or like you enjoy it?
Hell yeah, I enjoy it. After fucking living in Ohio my whole life, it's like, I'll take it. I'll take it for sure.
That makes sense.
Hop in the ocean or something, like, shit.
Nice. Yeah. What I guess other notable places that you travel? I think there's something United Enmities or something like that, or like what? Where else have you gone? Or like
I've been to like 29 states out of the 50.
What?
Hell yeah, I've been everywhere. I've been to Minnesota, fucking Nebraska, Colorado. I can't talk about what I did in Minnesota or Colorado, but there's some people out there that know what the fuck went on, you know.
Yeah.
If people listen to my music close enough, they'll kind of get the gist about it. But went to Georgia, went to I can't even think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I couldn't even name 29 states off the top of my head, so I don't know that.
Mississippi, fucking Missouri, St. Louis, or that's not even St. Louis. It's not even a state. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's alright. For a second, I was like, "Oh, St. Louis. I wonder where that is." You're good. Man. So you just travel like for fun? You travel for music, or you're just like, what's
travel mainly for music or for fun? Or if, like, let's say one of my friends is going out of town somewhere. My brother, he rides motorcycles.
Oh, nice.
And one of my really good buddies, he used to do stunt biking and shit. And they always take trips out to, like, mainly when I go to Chicago, that's what I'm going there for, is with them. And they go there for stunt biking and shit like that. Yeah. So I'm always trying to go and get in the scene because, like, fucking, even though they're stunt bike riders, there's some fucking rock stars down there.
Yeah, so
it's always a good ass time. Like, it's wild.
That's dope.
Hell yeah.
So, just to, I guess, shift gears again, talk to me about your favorite cereal.
Man, that's a tough one.
But you see, we talked earlier, but you don't really eat breakfast. Yeah, Are you like I'm like a cereal for dessert type person too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm that type of nigga that's gonna go down and get the biggest bowl in the kitchen at 5:00 in the afternoon, and it's definitely probably gonna be some fucking. That Crave, the chocolate Crave with the chocolate.
Interesting.
That shit, I will literally take a whole box of that and eat it. And then go get another box and open it and eat it.
That is good. That's a really underrated cereal. Like, I ask a lot of people, no one really says it, but you know, like, everybody loves Crave.
Hell yeah,
that's a good cereal.
Like, if you don't love Crave, like, what the fuck? For real. Man.
So are you like, if it was going to be like ice cream or pudding or something, you kind of gravitate towards chocolate, or like this... stupid dumb question, but like I'm curious because
I like chocolate pudding a lot.
Yeah.
And chocolate ice cream.
I like chocolate pudding a lot.
For real.
Okay, well that's good to know. I'm gonna file that away. Like maybe Christmas time, maybe get you a 6-pack of some snack pack or something.
Hell yeah. Or the best is when you buy the fucking instant mix and you just make a shit ton of it.
Oh yeah. I love the my grandma used to make it. I used to take just that skin off that top.
Hell
man.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Hell yeah.
I wish snack packs did that or something. You could get that without having to like make it. I don't have to make it lazy ass, but
literally.
Nice. Let's see. So I guess you had, was it an album or EP with Blood Red?
Yeah, Blood Red Moon in the Sky. I had a EP dropped January this year, and actually fucking I'm super like I gotta give all praise to God on that because it's been dropped for about 9 months, and I just hit, I think about a month and a half ago, I hit 10K streams on it.
Hey,
on,
nice
platform. So that was like a blessing in disguise because I always look forward to that day and wanted to get to that level. So now I'm like, now that I got there, I'm like, just gotta keep going. Now I got another album coming. I'm getting prepared and shit. It's called Dog Days of Summer. Okay. It's gonna be wild though. I'm definitely expecting it to go way past Blood Red Moon in the Sky for sure.
Yeah. Was Blood Red Moon like your first like project as opposed to singles, or did you have other like singles out there? Or,
I had a few tracks dropped on like SoundCloud and stuff, but and I had a single dropped on iTunes called Heart Attack. Okay. And then I had ended up taking down all the stuff that I had on SoundCloud. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take it down. I took it down, dropped the EP. Heart Attack ended up being on the EP. It was a 5-track EP. Yeah. And that's all that I have out right now. It's everywhere though. It's fucking on every streaming platform. And so yeah, it was that. I'm trying to think. I dropped a few music videos for him. I had a music video for Heart Attack, but some shit happened. The video got deleted. Oh man. Yeah, it was, it wasn't meant to be, I guess. It wasn't in God's plan yet. Yeah. For real.
I'm glad you clarified too, because I was like, I swear this guy had more songs and whatever, and I went to try to listen to stuff, and I was like, oh, it was just that. So I was like, maybe I can't find it or whatever. So that was like your first, I guess, project, and then you're working on the album, Dog Days of Summer.
Yep. I'm looking to put 11 tracks on there. Okay. Right now I got about 5 or 6 finished. I got a shit ton of other songs that I've been making over the years, but I feel like I want to incorporate the songs that I've been making in the past month or two on this album. So I got 5 that I made in the past month or two. I really love them. Like, I put my heart and emotion into them. Like, I'm really putting my soul into it. Like, I feel like I'm going on a different path than a lot of artists out here that are doing things, like, people are just gonna have to see. They're just gonna have to listen and see. It's definitely different. Like, it's wild. It's about trials, tribulations, me getting back closer to God, me getting spiritual again, getting back on my path, doing what's right, recognizing all the snakes that were in the grass, people that I thought had the best interest for me, but really didn't have the best interest. They were just, I call them energy demons. They were just there. They were there to draw me in, to suck my energy out. Yeah. To do demonic shit with it, or to try to manipulate certain situations, and to try to, I just feel like I don't know. It's just other artists I feel like would know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of energy demons out here in the music industry. It's like, it's wild. It's just crazy.
And even maybe I don't make music, but you say energy demons, like, I get the term. I've maybe not heard it before, but I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Or I get so much shit, and it's like, I'm like, why am I so tired? I don't. At the end of the day, after just talking to you for a second or whatever. But so, again, I'm trying to think how to make that a question, but it's like, so. Did you grow up like Christian, spiritual? Like,
I did.
How did you?
I grew up Christian. I was raised Christian. Was always deeply Christian. I believed in God. Always believed in God.
Were you guys a certain denomination of Christian, or like both your parents were? Like, how did you?
We were just we were old school. Just believed in God, believed in Jesus. Went to public school, middle school. My parents put us in private school. We went to Catholic school. We weren't Catholic, but
Which Catholic school?
Middle school I went to Nax, and then for high school I went to St. V up until 11th grade.
Okay.
And then I transferred over to North High School.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So you grew up around, I guess, the Akron area then? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
North Akron. I've been in North Akron pretty much my whole life, for real.
Yeah.
Other than times like, I left out of town for a few months here and there, and traveled and stayed other places and shit.
I went to Christian school like my whole life, so I was I know I was curious, but I was in Elyria, so I don't even know if you know where that is. But we had Elyria Catholic was like the Catholic. I was I wonder if you knew. But so if you're Akron area, so I guess so then at some point you kind of like drifted from that, and then you're back now, or like
whenever I started going to St. V, because Christianity to me. Catholicism is a lot different than other denominations in Christianity. So to me, it was real extreme. It was real like, okay, like it was just different. It was just different for me. So then that made me kind of veer away from the idea of God, and it made me more or less lean towards the idea of spirituality and the universe, and being pretty much understanding that through oneself you can manifest your own life, your own universe, your own happiness type shit. Yeah. And so I took that and became more spiritual out of high school, and just started getting to know myself, getting real in tune with who I am, and trying to find my own peace within my own self, understanding that nobody has like the power to make me feel any type of way except for myself.
Yeah, unless you let them.
Literally. And then through that, fast forward to now, I say God, but I don't mean God as in like, oh, the Buddhist God, the Hindu God, the Christian God. I say God as in like the universe,
like the
God.
higher power, basically. Yeah.
Like I believe that there's all these different religions and there's all these different books and stuff, but I feel like it's all the same thing. It's all the same concept. They're all teaching the same things. It's all the same, to teach good morals and instill, to keep evil and instill good morals into people. But I feel like they're all depicted in different cultures' way of understanding, so other people, different cultures can understand it. So that's where I'm at now with that.
So like you're like I guess Christian just because that was more how you were brought up as opposed to like Buddha or whatever, but generally it's all like the same thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I kind of like, because my parents were like, my dad was Serbian Orthodox, so if you ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, that was like us. Like we weren't wild. Greek, but we were just that. We were watching like, oh my god, it's my life. Like everyone's name's Nick. Like it was like insane. So like it was very similar to Catholic, and like it was ritualistic. Like read this, do this, light this candle, whatever. And I was like, why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense.
On schedule, like
exactly. So then we've switched. My mom was more like brought up just like regular Christian, so we started going to like a different church. But that was like. Do you know what Jesus Camp is? Like, have you seen that movie or documentary or whatever?
I don't think so. I'm not hip.
It's like, I wouldn't recommend. It's not a super enjoyable movie, but it's like the speaking in tongues, and like we used to have nicknames for people. We had River Dance Lady, who would like play worship songs, and she'd river dance down the aisles, and people would be like, oh, blah, 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 like doing like stupid shit. I'm like, this can't be it either. You're faking. Like, there's no way. That people are doing this. We have guest speakers would come in, and they'd do the like down the row, like people falling down. I'm like, there's no way. They'd get to me, and I'm standing there. I'm like whatever.
I don't feel it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what? Should I go down? Should I just fall down? Whatever. Yeah. So at that point, I was just like, this is whack. And Christian school, I had to memorize Bible verses, like just all the time. And it was like, at some point too, it was like I was like, oh, spiritual. Like I'm just, God is a higher power, and He's all around and whatever. And I always took it as in the Bible it says like New Testament, love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. And I was like, that's really it. All these books, all this literature, but everyone's so focused on the ritual, and they're missing just love person, Jesus in the Bible took the tax collectors and like the people everyone hated, and He loved them, the homeless people, whatever. My mom's like, oh, this person or that person, they're prostitute, whatever. I'm like, you don't know what their life was. Love them.
You don't know the situation. They might have just they might be doing that or sending out hate in the world because of something they're going through in life. Maybe they just need you to kill them with kindness, and they can see, oh, why am I being like that to this person? Yeah. Maybe they just and then when you kill them with kindness, they're like, oh, damn, and that's a seed that gets planted in them, and they carry it. They might not carry it, but they might.
Yeah. you're gonna win people with love instead of like hell is. You ever see that hell is real sign in Ohio?
Yeah,
yeah, you're getting everybody. Everyone's signing up for that based on that billboard. Like, it makes no sense.
Real shit.
So, do you do any like in your spiritual journey, like meditating or like manifesting, or like how does that?
I meditate all the time for real. Like, I call it zoning. Like, sometimes I'll just be sitting there, and like I could be in a room full of people, and I could just be sitting in the back, just being all quiet, and just like, but like just be staring off, and like in my mind I'm in a whole different world, or I'm in a whole different mind, state of mind. And I feel like for me that's like deep manifestation, deep meditation, me thinking about good thoughts, because I'm kind of like from the time I wake up, ever since I can remember, since I was a kid, even before I was unaware that I was manifesting or that I was, in meditation, I would always be focusing on what I love, and it's always been music. It's always been, helping other people, being kind. Someone's having a bad day, help them out. Just spreading positivity and love. So I like from the moment I wake up, it's anymore at this point. It's like it's just subliminal and it's conscious. So it's like I'm just kind of like without even having to make myself think about it. I could just be sitting there and I'm constantly thinking about I'm doing what needs to be done in order to get there for this to happen type shit.
Yeah. So your meditation is more just kind of like just almost like looking off over here and kind of like picturing like your perfect version.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. Because I'm trying to I'm practicing meditation. I've been reading The Secret and trying to do like, it says like don't move your muscles and clear your mind and whatever. I'm like, what works for me? I don't know if I've found it yet, but I do try to zone and stuff like that. And so I'm always asking anybody that does it like, what's the strategy? You know. So appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, sometimes I fucking sometimes I'll literally I'll try out the shit on YouTube. Like I'll play the megahertz, like they got the 1111 megahertz or 999 megahertz, all that. Like, and I guess each megahertz stands for helps you get to a different vibration, like your subconscious to a different vibrational frequency. Yeah. And so lately I found myself doing that a lot more, just testing it out. Like as I go to sleep or something, if I'm just let's say I had a bad day or I got to get up early or something, I'll just listen to some meditational shit or listen to a frequency. Like, I'd like to say it helps because things are definitely moving in motion. How I want them to happen. Maybe sometimes not how I want them to happen, but things will happen that other people might look at as bad, but I'll learn a lesson from it. So I'll be like, okay, well that's good then because I learned something. So now it's not going to happen again.
Right. So do you do the hertz and stuff all the time, or it's just kind of like a little bit?
Not all the time. I just started experimenting with that for real. Okay. Because before I just zone and I was unconscious of what I was doing my whole life, and people just think that I'm just sitting there being quiet and I'm sitting there picturing what I want to do with my life. I'm sitting there picturing in my head. I'm having this crazy ass imagination. Yeah. And growing up, I always thought, okay, it's just because I'm a kid. Kids have imagination. Yeah. Then I got older. Got turned into an adult, went through being a teenager, turned into an adult, and I realized and became aware that, okay, it's not just my imagination, it's the first step of manifestation, it's me thinking it, and then after I think it, I speak it. So now I'm thinking it, speaking it, I'm hearing it with my own mouth, and then in turn, once I do that, now I'm out here acting on it, putting the actions into play, so that I'm literally doing it. Yeah. And that's why I always tell people you can do anything you fucking want on this earth within reason, anything, literally. Yeah. Because as long as you believe in yourself, first step of manifestation is belief. You believe in yourself, then it don't matter what anybody else thinks. If you believe hard enough, that belief is going to turn into action. That action is going to turn into the state of you doing it. And then once you're doing it, you're now that. You're now what you manifested or what you dreamt of one day, Exactly.
I believe that. And I almost think it's like artist brain, if you will, because I'll do that same shit too. Where my girlfriend was watching something last night, and I'm just like, zoning, if you will. I'm just working on our video or working on whatever. She's not responding to me. Or I'm like, I didn't know you were talking. I was up here, I was making shit.
Zoned out.
And I think other people, I have this idea that if everybody was an artist, we wouldn't need artists. But if everybody was a consumer, we'd have no whatever. Some people's brains are just wired different. It's good to hear that somebody else is hell yeah. I'm not crazy. You're not crazy.
People look at people like that oh, they're crazy. No, we're not crazy. We're just fucking.
We're doing this for you. We're making this shit for you.
Literally. Yeah. We're just trying to unlock the universe that we want. Trying to get to there.
Yeah, you'll have to keep me informed on the hertz thing, how it's working for you, because I've tried it before. I don't know what, like, I tried the, like, red chakra one. I tried different ones, but I don't know. I think I'm maybe naturally predispositioned to not be sensitive to that stuff, like spirits and, like, all that type of energy and whatever, so I really have to try hard. But I'm like, what hertz have you tried, or have you found one that works for you? I
tried, my whole life, my number's always been 11, so I tried the 111 megahertz. Yeah. And then I tried the 99 megahertz. Because I have this face tattoo. It's 99.
Yeah, yeah.
When I got the tattoo because I'm born in 1999. It was I was fucking, one day I was with my brothers. They dared me to get it. I'm not gonna lie, I was drunk a little bit. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm not a bitch. I'm gonna get a face tat. Yeah. So I got the face tat, 99 year I was born. And then as I went on, I started doing my research and started getting more aware about the hertz and all that stuff. And then I found out that I guess 99 is the highest vibrational frequency that you can reach, or 999. And I never knew that before. And then that's what made me really want to get into it, because I'm like, I've had this tatted on my face since I was fucking 18, 3 years now, and I'm just now aware of what, that number stands for, what it means. Not only is the year I'm born, but it's a vibration. It's I feel like numbers, it's a sign from the universe. I feel like numbers are signs from a higher power that you're either moving in the right direction, or you're doing something, or you're doing what needs to be done in order to shift out of that matrix that you don't want to be in,
Yeah. So I'm just kind of big the question. I'm a little curious. Do you believe in anything as far as like past lives or future lives, reincarnation?
I do. I believe that we all live 11 lives for real. 11?
Yeah. Okay, I've not heard this.
Hell yeah. I believe we all live 11 lives. I believe that each life that you live, you have different soul ties. So how they say you have a soulmate or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I believe everybody has a soulmate. But maybe
11 soulmates, or one that they go through 11 lives?
One soulmate, and you meet that soulmate in every life that you live.
Are they like the same, like physically, or they're different? Your soul is the same, but maybe different body.
Yeah, soul same, different body. So it's
nice. Okay.
It's like an energy, and I feel like each life you live, you start off from your first life, and you either go through that life and you learn and you progress, and in the next life you progress on to something greater, or if you don't, it's going to keep repeating, and then your 11th life is your final life in your last life. So I feel like pretty much I feel like in your other lives you gotta just embrace, whenever you become aware that good is good and evil is evil, that they're just meant to put positive vibes and be positive out here. That's the first step into moving on to a higher consciousness. Yeah. And I feel like, because I've been through so much shit in life, so much crazy shit, so much shit that would have people people would be like looked at like they're crazy, or would lash out, and I'm so like calm now. Like I can literally, like, I used to get angry as fuck, but now I'm calm and just chill. I don't have a care. I literally wake up in the morning, fucking might not even have $1 in my pocket, but I'm like, you know what, I'm alive.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm completely comfortable with that, and I'm alive, and then I'm appreciative of the fact that I have this dream and this ability to be able to think something and dream about it and try to make it happen in this life. And I feel like I'm so calm like that, because and my number has always been 11. Mm-hmm. And because there's like a theory about the 11 life shit, and I just got hip to that shit too. Yeah. And I feel like my number's 11, and all that crazy shit, people call crazy or whatever. I feel like this is my last life. That's why I'm so...
Oh, interesting. I was going to ask, which of these do you think you're on right now?
Yeah, I feel like this is my last life, and that's why I'm so calm and I'm so content at this point in my life, because I feel like I'm getting close to where I need to be in order to make a positive change that's going to impact the entire world. Yeah. Or I'm just, or I could be crazy, I don't know, like, shit. That's just how I look at it. And I don't even, it's hard to explain. It's hard to put into words, for real. Yeah. It's hard to get out.
So what are you thinking then at the end of life 11? Like, what do you think is like about to happen?
I feel like at the end of whenever I move on, whenever my impact is done on this world, whenever I'm done doing whatever I was put here to do, obviously, I hope it's, you know, I'm not going to say I hope, I know it's something good.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm done doing whatever needs to be done, I feel like I don't know what's next. You know, people call it heaven, people call it nirvana, people call it, you know, a state of peace, tranquility, or your energy moves on.
Yeah.
I feel like my energy will then be shifted on to a higher existence, or to an everlasting, you know, like a everlasting, like, not the physical body, so the memories will all be gone.
Yeah.
But the energy that's my soul will move on to something, to a greater purpose, to serve something greater in the universe.
Yeah.
And something like that, yeah.
I like that. I like that you said the memories would be gone, because the memories would be, like, in your body or whatever. And
I feel like that's what people, like, when you talk about, like, religion and stuff and heaven, people think about it in a human way so they can understand it.
Exactly,
but they don't think about it like, okay, they think it in a selfish way. They don't think about it like, okay, maybe when I die, the brain is tissue, you know, memories, all the memory, that's tissue. So when you die, your body's going to die, but your soul, the energy that you have pumping your heart, running your brain, all that shit, that's going to move on. That's going to go somewhere. Energy can't be created nor destroyed.
Exactly,
it's always there, you know? It's just transferred on to somewhere. So it's all about what you do with that energy while you're here and how you transfer that shit on.
Yeah. Damn, that's some shit. Where did you learn about the 11 life theory?
I actually read up on it, like, not too long ago, like a month ago.
Month ago?
Because I
and you're already on life 11? Like, damn.
Like, literally, like, because, like, my whole life, fucking growing up, my numbers would always, like, baseball would always be number 11.
Yeah.
I would just be looking somewhere and I'd see the number 11 somewhere. I'd pray or something, and before I started, like, now, like, people, like, when I manifest, some people call it praying, some people call it this. I just call it manifesting, or like you said, meditating.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there and I'd pray growing up, and I'd ask God to, like, I'd be like, oh, God, show me a sign, this, that, or third. And I'd walk somewhere, look somewhere, and I'd see number 11 just sitting somewhere, like on the door, anywhere, or number 11 would stick out. And then I'd see it, and I'd be like, oh, okay, so maybe that's a sign I'm doing. Okay, go down, you're doing this right.
Yeah.
Do that, don't do this. And I would always use that as, like, confirmation. And then, like, a month ago, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to Google some shit. Googled some shit about numbers and, see if I'm the only one that has this theory.
Yeah.
I know a few other people that also have numbers like that are, like, attached to different numbers. Mm-hmm. And so I searched it, and I forget what belief it is, but there is a belief that, like, you live 11 lives, and that kind of caught me, and I was like, maybe that means I'm on my 11th life or something. Maybe that's why I'm, like, because I always had good-ass grades in school, you know, like, I used to want to be a doctor, and my senior year of high school, I dropped out with, like, a 3.9. Yeah. And everybody thought I was crazy, like, why did you drop out? I'm like, because I could have went to college, could have this and that, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do what I love, you know, what I felt like was right, and I always had a good moral intent behind everything I did, you know. I never did anything out of evil, like, never, no matter how fucked up I was, I never robbed nobody for their shit, never, you know, always... If I had to struggle, I struggled, you know what I mean? I went through it, and I always ended up bouncing back and coming back, or doing what what had to happen type shit. And I feel like me learning that about the 11 life shit, I feel like down to my character and core, that's why I am the way I am, because maybe in my past lives, me being unaware of it, my soul has been, them soul ties are still here, my soul has been fucking, it's embedded in my soul, like, okay, you're here for goodness, you're not here, you're past doing all that evil shit. Because, like, I know so many people that just do evil shit just to do evil shit, and it's like, how can you do some shit like that? Like, and I don't, it's wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the videos, make sure it's still going, but then we'll come back, because I have so much more to talk about.
All right.
Cool. So I'm pretty solid, actually. So do you feel like you have met the soulmate already, or you haven't, like, in life 11 yet? You don't think you've met her?
I feel like
cover your ears.
I feel like, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like I may have met what I thought was the soulmate, but in thought what was love, but it wasn't what I thought was love wasn't really love, it was lust, you know? Yeah. And I just recently went through, I was in Tennessee like a month ago, and had some crazy shit happen to me, had an injury, had to get surgery on my thing. Yeah. Fucking broke it, didn't even know that could happen, so it doesn't work anymore, pretty much, type shit. It doesn't work, so that really humbled me, and that showed me, okay, that made me look back, okay, all that time that I thought I had love for these other people or these women that I was meeting, it wasn't really love, it was lust.
Yeah.
Now I'm moving on with life. It's like, okay, now I meet people and I'm like, okay, I get to actually vibe and I actually get to see who they are and meet them and meet their soul, you know what I mean, without having to worry about that other shit. You know, obviously I'm human, so I still crave that shit. But it's like a whole new, it makes me think in a whole new way. Like I don't look at shit how I used to look at shit. Like and a lot of people would be depressed or sad that there's some shit like, especially being a man, that, you know, you broke your shit, so you can't use, I'm 21, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, damn, your dick's broke, you can't use your fucking dick. Yeah. And I'm not even sad about it. I'm humbled by it, because I'm like, you know what? That shit was a distraction, like, and I feel like it's, when the universe or when God's ready for me to be able to use that again, he's gonna, you know, it'll happen. Yeah. But until then, he needed me to not focus. I was spending too much time. I was literally giving all my energy to shit like that. Yep. To lust and to fucking sex demons, shit like that, you know? Yeah. And I feel like he had to take that away from me so I could completely focus on my purpose without me even knowing about it, you know? And it was a humbling experience for real. Yeah. But I forgot where I was going with that, but... Soulmate. Yeah, soulmate. So fucking... I feel like a lot of people think they meet their soulmate, but really it's they just meet somebody that they meet... I believe in sex demons. They meet a sex demon that they're really drawn to, you know? Mm-hmm. And I feel like you might not ever know if you met your soulmate or not until you move on to that higher existence. Yeah. I feel like when you move on to, like, maybe if we meet our soulmate here, we're not aware of it, but if we did meet our soulmate and we're both aligned and we move on to that next realm after our last lives, and I feel like everybody meets their soulmate on their last life. Okay. But not in the other 10? Or they've met them, but they're for sure in the 11th? Yeah, they've met them, but I feel like the physical form that they met them in, the physical form that the soul was in, so like the human body that their soul was in and the human mind that they had, pushed them away or didn't allow them to... Like they weren't ready until they hit 11. Exactly. Like you're evolving from 10. Ah, okay, interesting. And so it's like you got 11 tries to boom, boom, and then once you hit that 11th life... boom, you either progress on to the last 11th life or it could restart, and then boom, it's like a raffle, so it's out there and everything's getting, I don't even, like I'm trying to think, I'm trying to put this into words in the best way possible. Yeah. Like pretty much like you said, like you may have met your soulmate, but because of the physical distractions in the human mind, you couldn't recognize it as such type shit. Yeah. That makes sense, and they might not even be ready. They have an entire life, theoretically, like an iceberg of a life that, they might not be in the right spot either. Hell yeah. That's interesting. I'm going to have to look this up, because I'm super curious. Because I would say when I first, broke through the barrier of, I don't have to just believe, Christianity, whatever, I was like, I almost feel like I'm on at least number 2, and my parents are on number 1, which blows my mind sometimes, because I'm like, you never thought about death? You never thought about, the future and you've never how are you 50 something you've never thought about this, and I'm 22 or something. I'm not 22 now, but at a younger age, thinking about this stuff, and I'm the idea that I could have done this all before, and that's why I'm there more progressed, more in tune, more understanding, more open-minded type shit. My parents teach me nothing. They were just get good grades and that's it. And that's all that matters. And then they didn't teach me how to be a person or be a man or balance a checkbook or do finances, whatever. And so it was I'm curious. Maybe I'm on 11 too. Hopefully not. But that's interesting. There's have you ever heard? Or I guess when is your actual birthday? Day month. May 13th, 1999, 5/13. I'm a Taurus. Okay. Yeah. There's a book, I just learned about it maybe a month ago. It's called The Secret Language of Birthdays. I can send you the PDF, or you can buy it or Google it, whatever. But it's it talks about the numbers thing too. So it's I think mine was 9, but I'm January 29th, 92. So it's there's a lot of 9s and 2s and stuff in my life. And that adds up to 11 too. So it's I'm wondering, I'll have to read that shit again. That's crazy. But it was oh man, even just seeing that, it was kind of a lot of personality about people born on certain days that almost it's not, to me it wasn't horoscope of you're a strong person, you're gonna have success. It was you suck at this, you suck at this, you suck. I was shit, that's right, but it held a light up to it. So I'm gonna
Google what your birthday, like May 13th, and see what
yeah.
your numbers is. But if you're interested, I would check that out.
Hell yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. That'd be wild.
So I guess back to the music for a second, because I wanted to talk about this for sure, but the Blood Red Moon Under the Sky like EP, what was the like state of mind for that, and like what was the story of time in your life in that?
Whenever I dropped Blood Red Moon, it was more or less like that was a transitional period of me going from the kid, from being from people just not really understanding me, not really knowing me, just kind of just you know, I'd rap, I'd had music out, but I didn't have nothing mixed mastered, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing that was really catching anybody's eye, or something that somebody could listen to and be like, oh, it was just average shit, you know. And I feel like Blood Red Moon in the Sky was that transitional period where people listen to that and they're like, oh, okay, this is different.
He's
like,
serious now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're serious. Like this is professional. You're actually, this is what you want to do.
Doing it. Yeah.
And I've always been fascinated with the moon. And I think at the time, whenever I thought of the name, I looked up, there was a blood red moon or whatever in the sky.
For real?
Yeah. And
What?
There was fucking, I'm trying to think. It was like, there's like two or something, or one or two or something that happens every so often.
Yeah.
Every so many years or whatever. And that year, so happened to be a blood red moon in the sky. So
that's dope.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I just always was fascinated with the moon, and that's about as deep as that goes. So I was like, okay, that would be cool. Blood red moon in the sky, make it something like that. Maybe somewhere later on in my life, whenever there's another blood red moon, maybe that'll correlate with something or something like that, you know.
Yeah. So just more or less, just interested in the moon. There was but I guess the sign being that you looked up, it was like that moon and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess curiosity of what made you choose A Lot on My Mind for like our video versus maybe some of the other ones, or like, is that your favorite song on there? Like?
The crazy thing is that was the song that I least expected to catch traction. My favorite song on Blood Red Moon, let me think. I'd have to say it was Knife or Timeless.
That was a good one.
Hell yeah.
And Timeless was dope.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot, man. But somehow, A Lot on My Mind, that shit caught traction. Like, a lot of the people around here, like in the North Akron and shit, know it and listen to it. A lot of my buddies and shit listen to it. And I did not expect it to catch traction.
Yeah.
And when I made it, I swear, Eli Nash, he had a house over on the north side. He had a studio, recorded over there one night. I think I was a little drunk one night, made the hook, came back the next day, made the verse, came back another day, and then made the last verse. And then just kind of put it together, and it sounded good, but it never really caught my attention. So I threw it on the tape as like a filler, you know?
Yeah.
And people really liked it. And then through other people liking it, through people that I loved, like liking it and telling me like, yo, I think this is my favorite song you ever made. Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, then through that, I was like, I started to appreciate the song, and now that's like one of my favorite songs I've ever made. Yeah. And when I made it, when I was making it, when I dropped it, I never expected that to be like, to catch traction at all. Yeah. And right now, it's my most streamed fucking song. And I just felt like I feel like back in the day, going to like Sunday Cyphers, being out in Kent, being in the scene. Like I said, I always seen your work. I always looked up your work. I was always like, man, I want to get to that level to where I'm to the point to where I'm good enough to be able to like, work on some shit.
Man,
with you.
thank you.
Yeah, like for real. And I felt like that was the song. Like it was like that was the track for me, you know? Yeah. And whenever I hit you up and then we linked up, it was like that was a manifestation that I had in my head. It was like a dream come true. I'm like, shit, I had this dream. Nobody ever thought I was gonna get there. People just thought, okay, he's just making shitty ass music. Yeah. But there's really depth behind it. You know what I mean? It's really like that shit helped. Like that song, them manifestation of dreams really kept me alive. It kept me pushing. Like it gave me something to look forward to for real.
Yeah, I like that you said that as like, oh, I didn't really fuck with this song when I first made it, because I've had moments like that as like a videographer too, where I'm like, I don't really fucking like this video. People see like, dude, this is my favorite one. I love this one. I'm like, I made this and you like it. Like that's like I didn't like it and you liked it. That's awesome, man. I was curious, as I've heard this song probably 1,000 times, the one line you said, my middle name is Dave, that's how you know I don't play. Okay. Can you explain that? Like, I love that line. I was like, what does that mean?
So my dad, anybody who's ever met my dad knows my dad's cool as hell. Like, he's a hardworking ass man. He owns his own company. He's very smart. He's very goal-oriented and motivated. But there's one thing about Dave. Dave's my dad.
Okay.
Dave does not fucking play. You feel me? Dave don't play about shit. So, fucking, I love him to death. We butt heads, time to time.
Taurus, yeah.
Yeah, we go at it. But that's one thing I can say about him is he says he's gonna do some shit. He gets it done. He don't play about it.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was cool putting that in a song because he listens to my music now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
people that know him and know you and whatever.
Yeah, they'd pick up on it. They'd be like, Mama, the name is Dave. That's how you know I don't play.
Yeah.
And some people picked up on it, and he picked up on that too. And he actually asked me that too, but he knew what I meant by it. Yeah. And I was like, it's because you don't play. Yeah. Like, I'm grown as fuck, and I'll be doing something with him, and he'll tell me, like, he'll be like, hey, dude, you need to straighten the fuck up, or you need to get this shit together. Like, that's one thing I can say about him. Like, even though we butt heads, he does show love to my music. He supports me. We might have a different idea about how to go about marketing it and getting my wave out there and about how to be an artist, but I feel like that correlates with what I said earlier. Nobody's gonna believe how you believe in your own head. Yeah. But so as my father, he just wants to see me do what's best. He wants to see me be successful in life. Yeah. So he likes my music a lot, but like it's just we just don't see eye on eye certain shit. Mm-hmm. But it's love, you know what I mean? It's all out of love. He just wants to see what's best for me. He wants me to go far in life, Yeah. That's good. I'm glad I asked about that. That was even better answer than I was expecting. And then I guess also when we were shooting, you mentioned you were on acid at the time, and I'm curious, was that your first time? What was your acid experience? What did you learn? It was like my fourth time.
Fifth time.
I tried it a few times in high school. Shit was wild. Each time I took it to try to learn something new about myself or try to put myself in like a mind state to see if I could work around it or see if what I could create in that altered mind state, Yeah. And whenever I took it for the music video, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take this. It's gonna throw me out of my element because man, it was 5 years since the last time I did it. Yeah, so I'm like, fuck it. I was like, I just want to put myself in an altered mind state and just operate as just a human, just doing what I'm doing, And that's what happened pretty much, It went with the flow. I didn't care about I was tripping, so I didn't care about what I thought I knew. I didn't care about the ego. I didn't care about anything that I felt like would have been important in a regular state of mind. I just let go of it, and I just was myself. I was just able to freely be myself,
Yeah. So nothing, I guess, which is interesting in itself, that almost with you, it just kind of took away the mind, almost. It took away, you were able to just exist. Literally. Versus, like, it showed you this key, and it showed you that you are Don Darko, or it showed you something, but it was just more or less, like, helped you just be a regular-ass person.
Hell yeah, literally. Yeah. Because it's like, normally, I'm kind of antisocial, or I'm quiet. Like I said earlier, I'm like, I sit in the back and I'm quiet, but, the few times that I took that, it made me like not give a fuck. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And through that, now doing that, them few experiences, now I'm able to like, without even using that, now I'm able to like, that carried on with me. So now I'm able to be like, all right, well, if I could do that on that, I could just do it normal. Like I could just do it normally, regularly. I could walk in a room and just be myself. And that
put yourself in that same state.
Literally.
That's awesome. Have you ever done like shrooms or anything too, or you just?
Tried shrooms one time in high school. Took like 7 grams, which at the time I thought wasn't a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
My buddy, he's fucking. He was like, we were camping or whatever. He's like, hey, you want to take some shrooms? I'm like, shrooms? What the hell? He's like, yeah.
Give me 7 grams.
Yeah. I'm like, how much do we take? He's like, oh, I ate like he's like we're gonna eat like 7 grams on a sandwich. I'm like, is that a lot? He's like, no, that's not even a lot. And my buddy, I'm not gonna say his name.
Set you up, man.
Yeah, he likes to fuck with people, Yeah. He fucked with me. I'm not gonna lie. I took that shit and I felt like I died. Like, I was walking. It kicked in within like 30 minutes. I ate him on a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Walking around, we was at like this big concert festival, and fucking walking around instantly. Like 30 minutes later, I'm looking at people. People don't even look the same. I'm hearing people talk. I can't understand language. I don't know who the fuck I am at this point. So I'm like, all I can think in my head is get back to camp. So I'm just walking around trying to get back to camp, like crazy as fuck. Like that was the only time I ever took shrooms. But taking shrooms, I literally felt like I died and was in a different realm because everything was so altered.
Yeah.
That it made me now I can say like I'm not afraid of death. I learned that you don't have to be afraid of death. The only thing you have to be afraid, not even afraid of, is just understand that there's like, I wouldn't say like that, like before I was afraid to die and I didn't know why I was afraid to die.
Yeah,
that
it's the unknown more or less than anything, yeah.
That helped me understand, okay, now I'm not afraid to die. I feel like I'm more afraid of what's next after death. What comes after. And I feel like a lot of people search their whole life avoiding that, and that shit helped me face it, you know?
Yeah.
And that was the only time I ever took shrooms. I've never prayed to take them again, and I learned that lesson, and that shit stuck with me to this day. That's
good.
wild.
Yeah. So
that was like 5 or 6 years ago. Like I was 16, I think.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Very different. Maybe it could just be on the dosage, but very different than like your acid experience.
Oh yeah, it was definitely more spiritual. Acid to me was more of a wire, more of a synthetic. Yeah. And shrooms was definitely more spiritual. I was definitely more. It felt like I was more in touch with the planet as a whole. Like, if that makes any sense, with like the tree, like everything. Like everything was like. It made me appreciate and realize that everything has a fucking purpose, you know. Everything down to the tiniest grain of salt has a purpose, you know. Yeah. And it just made me that really made me appreciate shit, and it taught me that to not take shit for granted, and it really did teach me a lot for real. Yeah. And hell yeah. That's
good. I've done shrooms a couple times, and it was interesting hearing your kind of acid story, because that's how I had maybe one shrooms experience that was kind of like, whoa, like kind of weird, but the other one, the most like standout-ish one, was similar to you. It was just like I felt nothing, but I felt so confident. My friends were freaking out. We're at his house. They're like, my parents are gonna catch you. I'm like, they're not gonna catch you. The neighbors don't care. Like I just got it, and like it's hard for me to get back to that exactly because my mind and shit goes crazy, but it was interesting that you also had a similar experience of like, all it did was just erase this. And then we're just regular, we're already there. We just gotta you
just gotta always be yourself. Fucking, no matter what. Don't let the ego distract you from what the soul is, type shit. Like, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people, they get material goods, or they get what they feel like is popularity, they get power, and they let the ego distract them from what the soul's purpose is. Right. So they start chasing the ego. What the ego wants is a purpose. Oh, I want $1 million. That's the ego. Soul. Oh, I want happiness in my life. I want peace. That's the soul, you know? Yeah. And a lot of people get too distracted, you know? Definitely.
Yeah, and especially, like, I always say, like, I don't go on Instagram because that's the only time I get depressed is when I talk to my parents and look at Instagram. It's like, I'm like, everyone's doing all this shit, and my parents are like, you're not doing shit, and I'm like, whatever. So it makes me think, like, I need to be doing whatever, but it's, in reality, I'm like, I'm chilling, I'm happy, I'm, enjoying life and whatever, so people are chasing the wrong stuff, and it's
people chase their whole life looking for happiness through money or objects, and some people, like you just said, like, you're happy, so, like, people spend their whole life looking for that through egotistical shit, when really it's just follow your soul and be yourself, and your happiness will come, and what you want is gonna come.
Or like I've tried to do too is like look inside myself, and like if I'm not happy, is $1 million gonna fix that? Right. No, not necessarily. Right. Like it's I would need to figure out why I'm unhappy and fix that part, and then I'll actually be genuinely happy.
Hell yeah.
So what was my next question? Oh, cooking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You said you like to cook. Made a roux the other night. Made some Alfredo. What's talk to me about cooking, man. What do you like to cook? What's your?
Cooking is almost like cooking's like music for me. It's an art form, and it's therapy. Yeah. I love to eat, and while I'm cooking, I don't think about shit else. I'm in the kitchen. I'm whipping shit up. Yep. Cooking, fucking learning shit, and it's peaceful. It's relaxing. And when I'm done, I get to eat it. You know? I just love. I don't know. I love cooking. Whenever I was I didn't actually learn that I loved to cook until I was like I always wanted to cook, but I never recognized that I loved to cook until I was in high school. And when I went to North High School, I got involved in a culinary program with a teacher named her name was Miss Gibson at the time, and she really took me under her wing and showed me a whole bunch of shit and got me into these culinary competitions and this and that and third, and I just
you're like serious man. Okay.
And I grew a love for it, and I ended up doing that through senior year in high school until I dropped out, and fucking it just stuck with me. It's just always like some people say, oh, why didn't you want to go to chef school? Why didn't you want to be chef? because I feel like I love to cook, but like I feel like going to chef school or becoming a chef adds the work aspect to it. So it's like,
exactly.
I love it, but I want to cook on my own time. I want to cook when I want to. I want to free 100%. At any given time, all of my life, I want to be able to do what I want to do, be myself.
Yeah, because you want to do it as opposed to have to do it.
Literally, if I want to cook, I'm going to cook. Not because somebody's telling me, oh, I'm going to pay you this to cook. No, I can just go in the kitchen and freely cook whatever I want to cook, and it's amazing. It's like same thing how music makes me feel. It's like art. Nobody can tell me, oh, that's not right, because art has no standard. It's art.
Yeah.
You know, if you like it and you enjoy it, that's all that matters. You know.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing to cook, or like what do you like? Do you bake too, or just mostly cooking?
I'm alright at baking. I still catch myself trying to bake some shit, and my grandma will be in there. Hey, I smell it burning, and I'm like, how the hell do you?
How do you smell it, Grandma?
Yeah, and I'll open it up, it'll be burning like. Fucking, but cooking, I'm really good at cooking. Baking though, not my strong suit.
Yeah. I don't think it's as fun, honestly.
Yeah. Fucking, I really like to cook chicken Alfredo. I like to make guacamole. I like to make a lot of cliche ass shit, you know.
Yeah.
But
guacamole is awesome to make because you can kind of make it. It's almost art in itself. You can make it choppy. You can make it smooth. You can kind of add what exactly.
I just learned how to make it too, like a few months back.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was like, I love guacamole. Why do I not know how to make guacamole?
Yeah.
And I looked up how to make it, and it was easy as hell. I'm like, oh, okay. And I add corn, add my little secret ingredients.
Corn,
you know?
that's interesting, man.
Hell yeah, that shit. Corn, maybe a little bit of diced tomatoes.
Yeah.
A little bit of black beans. You know, anything along them lines. I love to cook though. Guacamole is probably my favorite thing. It's the most simplest thing to cook, but it's probably my favorite thing to cook.
Yeah, and you can make it, so many different ways. And it's intense. You already have great recipes out there with the corn and the black beans, so that's awesome. So probably gonna wrap it up soon. But what is Don Darko goals? Like when you're zoning, when you're manifesting, like what's your ultimate goal, and what can we expect from you?
Let me say this. I wouldn't tell people to try to expect shit from me. Because I feel like when people put expectations in the shit, they get let down.
Ooh,
So I feel like...
My bad, man.
No. That's just how I think. I'm like, I don't ever have expectations for shit, because I feel like if I expect something, then that opens me up to be able to be let down for something. So I feel like people should definitely look forward, or... That's
a good way to put it,
definitely look forward to a different style of music coming. I'm definitely gonna be preaching about the spiritual shit. I don't care who tells me to stop. I don't care who tells me that I'm wrong, because that's how I believe. That's what I feel, and I feel other people should feel that. Some people, I don't know. I just feel other people should know that they're not alone, and know that they need to believe, and as long as they believe in themselves, that's all that fucking matters.
Yeah.
Don't matter who hates. They believe in themselves, and if they can be better than their self was yesterday, they're already the best in their universe.
Yeah.
You just got to keep being better than yourself. You're your own competition. So I feel like going forward, they can just look forward to me pretty much being myself and teaching other people how to be themselves through my music. Yeah. Type shit.
Okay. And the album we could look forward to like sometime next year. You think you have it done by December? Like, what are we? I know I'm excited at this point now.
I don't even know. I'm wanting to have it done. I'm wanting to say next 2 months for real.
Okay.
Next 2, maybe 3 months.
I know how art goes, so like I always say, it'll be a month, it'll be 2 weeks, whatever. And it's never that. So like I just didn't know if you were like, I'm trying to drop it, like whatever, or if you're still making it,
I'm looking forward to having it. I'm looking forward to having it done in about 2 months, and I'm looking forward to dropping it in about 3.
Okay.
So, and I started promoting some of the songs that were already done. People are liking them a lot. Still got a far long way to go, but I'm definitely gonna deliver on this one. It's definitely gonna be some shit that people can feel and is real, and all my music is real. But it's like before, I feel like I had to adapt to a certain style to get people's attention.
Right.
And now that I got that attention, it's like, okay, now I'm about to give you that. That's what y'all wanted. Now I'm about to give y'all what y'all need. Like,
that's a good way to put it.
Hell yeah.
Was Molly gonna be on the new one, or that's just like something else?
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting that on there. I'm thinking about putting it on there.
It's a dope song for everybody watching. Check it out.
Hell yeah. We fucking got the music video to that shit on God.
Oh, yeah.
That shit, that's one of my favorite ones out right now.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Cool, man. Anything else? Any shout-outs? Anything else you want to do? Talk about?
I just want to give a shout-out to all my family. Everybody's always supporting. Just a huge shout-out. Just to everybody, shit. Everybody who shows love, shit. Everybody who even hates, because I don't, you know what I mean? They're hating for some type of reason. It's alright, you know what I mean? You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna get to the bottom of whatever you're hating for. Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to spread love. I'm trying to spread positivity. I'm trying to show people a different way, other than, you know, the system that we're living in right now, type shit. But huge shout out to God though.
Oh yeah,
huge shout out to the universe and to God.
Definitely. And I'm gonna start saying looking forward to now.
Hell
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
That's really good, man.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Well, cut.